boys.
Hey, kids, we're live. Welcome to the show. Thank you for all the people that were waiting. We are live. We're going to run the intro, and then we're going to start with a couple of really quick things with the guys I met from EAZY Ash, which is very cool. And then Riz is going to go on a rant about new cigar laws. Here we go, kids.
Oh, my God.
This is 2OF Entertainment.
Welcome to Habanos Saturday, the fastest growing cigar show on YouTube with over 100,000 subscribers. Come join us every Saturday live. Every Saturday live.
Oh, and here we are, boys and girls. So before we get into the show, I have to give a big shout out to Lawrence and Anthony. They're with a company called EAZY Ash. You probably saw this on the Instagram. And it comes in this, like, yeah, this is it, right? You take
Very
this
cool
and you
product.
can market it.
Very cool.
And then it turns into this little ashtray. I was like, this is friggin' awesome. So we did a short. I was smoking cigars. They sat next to me. The guy goes, "Are you a cigar aficionado?" And I said, "Here." Showed him the show. And he goes, "You are." And we started to talk about it. And I was like, what do you do? And he told me, and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." So I said, "Let's do a real 30-second reel." So this EAZY Ash, spelled with a Z, is a very cool little product. And they have a cigar company, hopefully I'm not saying anything out of school, that's going to take this and make it into a 5-pack. So I thought that was very cool that you get a portable ashtray. And I thought that was very neat. I think
the 30-second video or reel that you put up, I think I shared it on my Instagram as well.
Yeah.
I learned something. I learned two things. First of all, that's a great product because you can practical, but it comes together. It looked almost magnetic. I don't know if it is. There's some sort of magnetic.
It's just, you just fold it.
But then it looked very cool. And the other thing that occurred to me is that, Stephen, your presentation was like, I know you were, you were just winging it, right? But your presentation was spot on. You could promote on the shopping channel. You're that good.
Oh, thank you. So, well, there you go, kids. So if you need something promoted on the shopping channel, I'm here for you. And we're live on Instagram, everybody, just so you know. So there we have it. We're live on Instagram. We're live on YouTube. So we are here. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to Lawrence. And Cigar Analyst says I'm a natural. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and since we are a cigar show, so I think I will light up because I don't know if you both are going to do something about it or no. So for today,
I will light up later today.
I have this very interesting small little box which people would have, if I show it, people would think that this is more of a club or a mini or something like this. But this is a Davidoff Signature Exquisito, which is, as it says, Hentre Mano. So it's a hand-rolled Exquisito, which is made in the Dominican Republic.
Dom rep.
Oh, okay, sir. My apologies.
No,
and when you take this out, the fun part is there is a very interesting detail about it. So the small little thing, signature, iconic refinement, signature are the indisputable originals of the cigar world, timeless and elegant classics in every sense. The mild signature blend allows fresh floral scents to mingle with earthy.
Fresh floral scents.
That was easy for you to say, Usman. I mean, that just rolled off your lips. So.
Yeah,
it lolled off his lips.
To mingle with
it lolled off his ribs,
revealing a hint of sweetness that leaves a characteristically clean and creamy aftertaste. Having stood the test of time, Signature Blend represents the very essence of time, beautifully filled. While you were both picking up on me because of my slip of tongue, the only thing I can
slip of tongue. Can you start drinking after the show in the future? I'm just, that'd be awesome.
No, the problem is even the thing is, I know there are a couple of friends who would see this and they will give it off to me after the show, and the reason is they're gonna remind me of the fact that they have told me like now at least 1,000 times to go and get my eyesight checked. My near sight has started to go down, so I need to get my glasses upgraded. which I haven't, and by virtue of my stupid habit, I don't even keep them close by. Hence the fumble.
Hence why. Okay. So anyway, so thank you to Easy Ash. Like I said, the video is on our Instagram. I think we
I
even put
like
it
it.
on our YouTube channel. I'm glad everybody likes
Mhm.
it. And Lisbon's going to light up a cigar. I'm going to have a Davidoff weekend again this weekend. So we're going to be smoking Davidoffs. You can go to the Instagram to see that. And Riza, before the show, we were talking about, and we'll try to keep them calm, kids. In London, they're trying to ban cigar smoking, but hookers are legal. So that's a positive. So and nobody seems to want to do anything about it. So Riz is very upset that the hookers are going to be legal and they're banning cigar smoking. So, Riz, tell us what's going on in London with the banning of cigar smoking and whatnot.
Listen. I will talk generally. I have been a little bit disinterested in all of these things, primarily because I
Right,
don't think it's going to concern me. But I guess that might be part of the problem.
right,
Um, it seems I on your other shows, Stephen, when I come on, whether it's Sermon from a German or
right,
Adam on the Eve, uh, topics kind of intermingle. One of the topics that's beginning to intermingle is that uh, generally around the world, people just make up rules as they go along, just to suit
right,
them. Whether it's
Yeah, no
driving
problem.
rules, whether it's rules about tax, whatever it is now kind of obvious that rules are made by ignorance to subjugate the masses. Okay, I'm
right,
talking a bit too politically here, by the way, right? But the way
I'm
that it
smoking not.
concerns the way that it concerns the cigar smoking community is that a bill has been put up in Parliament which addresses cigars, vapes, and tobacco equally. All right, whereas we know that cigar smoking is a very different kind of activity, involves a very different style of tobacco. It's without preservatives, etc., without all those things, right? Okay. But first of all, there's a lack of education out there. People sort of put smoking together as one. I had this conversation on this channel maybe a year ago about having an
yep,
argument with one of my aunts who was telling me about smoking. And I said, listen, what do you know about smoking? You've never smoked, so what do you know about smoking anyway? It's that kind of thing, right?
right,
There seems to have been, well, not there is an action by the government in the UK to basically diminish all types of smoking over the next few years by fixing the age or at which people can buy cigars, or sort of like increasing it incrementally by 1 year every single year, so that by a certain year you won't be able to buy cigar other than people who've already smoked cigars. Youngsters won't be able to buy cigars or anything
right,
else. Now, in that regard, I've had light conversations and heavy conversations with some people who are just regular smokers, some people in the industry, some people who move between being smokers and within the industry. It's a very sort of like a vibrant community now. And actually, the thing that I've realized is that no one really did anything at the time when this issue became a problem. This was a year and a half ago, perhaps due to apathy. And just before we came on the show, I was talking to Stephen Osman, just before you came on the show, I was talking to Stephen about sort of an analogy of a village full of villagers who face a common threat, let's say the attack of wolves or an enemy, and each villager thinks that the other villager will fix the problem or will take a stand, and no one does until it's literally too late. Um, and that kind of seems to be what's happening with regards to the cigar smoking community. The government has lumped the cigar smoking community, which is of an indiscernible size, especially in the UK, because no one really keeps up to date statistics. And so I had a conversation a couple of weeks ago with a lady, Tatiana, who runs, I think it's called ITPAC, which is basically an association for cigar merchants, to kind of like a sort of a lobbying body or a sort of a vocalization body that's financed, well, not financed, but contributed to by cigar merchants throughout the UK. And we were having this conversation, and the question, I thought these were very, very plain questions that I raised, but apparently they hadn't been thought through. I said, look, do you have any statistics on how many cigar smokers are smoking a cigar in a lounge throughout the UK on any given day? And she said, no. And I said, well, if you don't have those statistics, then how is the government meant to know what kind of body of people it's affecting? And then there was this issue last year where sort of gently, cigar sampling forms, Usman may remember this, were put out in cigar lounges so that if you go into a cigar lounge and you sample a cigar, which is what those lounges are for, and that's what the government stipulation here is about, is really you're not going to cigar lounges, you're going to cigar merchants who have a sampling room where you can sample a cigar before buying a box. That's the rule. Okay. So in that regard, they put out feedback forms. So it was led by Hunters and Francow with regards Cuban cigars. Hunters and Francow issued a feedback form that cigar lounges, cigar merchants could put out in their sampling rooms. So that when people like I come in, if we smoke a cigar, we say it was like this, it was like this, it was like this, it was like this, it was good, bad, this was the flavor, this was, so there is some feedback. Now, I don't know how many forms have been filled out. Seems negligible amounts. And I'm sorry, I'm on a bit of a rant here, yeah, but I'm trying to make some sense. When you typically go into a sampling room in the UK, I've almost never seen anyone filling out a cigar sampling form. It's very rare, and people don't go there to fill out forms. People go there to smoke a cigar, enjoy themselves, have a conversation, go away. So that psyche is not there. And that psyche could have been changed. Every cigar lounge has a screen. Normally they play a fireplace on there or whatever it may be. I think everyone took my lead. That's what I do at home. So people have been seeing this. So I'm glad to say that all these lounges have taken. They could be putting aquariums up. They could be putting whatever. But they have these screens. And my assertion was that on the screen from time to time you should have a message saying support the industry, fill out a form. Yeah. It's that becomes subliminal marketing, overt marketing. But what you're trying to do is, if you don't save this industry in the next 2 or 3 years, you won't have cigar sampling rooms to smoke in, if that's what interests you, right? And those things haven't been done. They haven't been done today. They haven't been done 6 months ago. They haven't been done a year ago. It's been very, very lightweight. So when I've spoken to people about this, and case in point, I spoke to someone fairly important in the last half hour. Everyone says the same thing. No one's really willing to do anything. Oh, I don't want to upset this person. I don't want to say that. Well, I got a little bit carried away, and I used some words that perhaps I shouldn't have used, and I'm certainly not going to use them
Pussy,
on
I
this
think was
show.
one of them. Pussy was one of them.
I'm certainly not going to use them on this show, because before I came on this show, I asked. So I'm being very transparent. I asked permission of Usman. I asked Stephen's permission. Should I absolutely go loopy? And Stephen said, go as loopy as you want. And Usman said, calm it down. Calm it down. So I've tried to give a relatively balanced. I'm very pissed off about this, by the way. I may not go totally ape shit, as they say, on this program, right? But
thank you very much, sir.
You will find if you follow my Instagram, if you follow my social media, you'll find I'm going to crank it up, because to be very honest with you, the world is full of complete fucking pussies and morons, And when I say about pussies and morons, right? What I mean is,
ain't putting this shit on my Instagram.
What I mean to say, what I mean to say. So I'll qualify myself. We're going back to that villager mentality, right? Not Villiger cigars, villagers. And what I mean about this is this kind of activity. The alarms haven't gone off in the right way to have engaged the cigar smoking community in the right way. There's too little going on at the last minute. Problems like this are normally solved by relatively powerful people in the industry with other relatively powerful people in government. That's how problems like this are solved normally, On the other hand, one of the other ways of maybe not solving the problem, but trying to solve the problem, is engaging a really top-class law firm to fight this on a human rights level, a great consultancy or a group of consultants within the cigar industry who know what they're talking about, have been around long enough. They know the nuances, subtleties, mechanics of the industry. A lobbying group, call it like that. And I'm finding, at least to my eyes, maybe all of this is happening sort of really. I could be talking to complete crap, because maybe underneath the ground, people are really working their nuts off to fix this problem. But I don't see the effects of it. I don't see the bubbling up to the surface. You know, if there's energy under the ground, you see hints of it at the top.
Let me ask you this.
Any of it. I see.
Justin's typing to everybody on Instagram because he has a big fan club.
No, there are actually people who are telling me what is happening, and Dodd has just said Raza Brokovich hi.
Yes, there you go. So, but do you think that it's complacency on, if you will, the cigar lounges?
Apathy.
It's apathy. Okay, so because of the apathy, do you think it's going to be too late when the government finally says, listen, you have to be 21 next year, 22, then 23, 20? Do you think it's going to be too late, or does the industry and the cigar lounges, and we won't name your favorites in this?
Well, look, you can have lots of views on this, right? One of the views you can have is that when one government goes, another government be in there, and the rules will change again. It's like this fucking idiot Sadiq Khan, who's made the whole of London a 20-mile-an-hour zone.
Yeah.
Let's just make up numbers. Let's just make, why not 25 miles an hour? Why 20 miles? They're just fake. Everything is about, most of these rules, most of these directives are not based on any tangible statistics or tangible research. It's just based on agenda. It's based on populism. Most people don't smoke, so it's very easy to beat down on people who do smoke, right? Okay. Now, and then various different types of smoking are different activities that people lump together. As I say, smoking a shisha pipe, smoking a cigar, smoking a vape, smoking a cigarette, these are all different activities.
Right.
They're different activities, right? You can say we're all people, but then you have Saudis, you have British people, there are categories of people, right? You have categories of behavior, you have categories of interest and like. So smoking is not one category. Okay, so that's one thing, which is an educative process, right? Now, I'm sure that if you still had, and by the way, this includes other tobacco products, including snuff and things like that, right? Okay, which a lot of MPs used to take and still take. Snuff was considered sort of the very high form of consuming tobacco, powdered snuff, and you would like snort it, kind of thing, right?
There's powder. In Miami.
So the reason why I use these emotive words that Usman has an issue with is because no one is really showing any emotion. When I get charged up, emotionally charged up, the whole point is to convey a real form of frustration or a real opinion. Otherwise, we can talk very lightly about everything and no one will ever do anything about it. That's why I get charged up about these things, because I'm not even charged up so much about the cigar smoking bill. What I'm charged up about the fact is that people love to talk about it and do nothing about it.
Okay. So even the lounges that you frequent, the owners of those lounges aren't doing anything, or they're not doing anything that you're aware of?
Well, what can they do? It comes from top down.
But wouldn't you band together, when
owners and operators? I would say owners and operators. What my suggestion was when I had a conversation a couple of weeks ago with IDPAC was, it comes from top down. If you make it a requirement that every fifth person must fill out a form, you can't really force people to do this. But what you can do is incentivize people to do it. You can say, look, if you fill out a form, you get 1% cash back. Or so you get 1% off, 2% off your cigar. And by the way, the stick, so you have the apple and the stick. The apple is, let's say you get 2%. If you fill out the form, you get 2%, or so that's one thing. And the stick is, well, if you don't, you're not supporting the industry. In 2 years' time, 3 years' time, you'll find that these lounges are closed. So there's some emotional content there. There's some financial incentive there. You could do more to get some feedback forms. And when I say feedback forms, these are critical feedback forms, because if you're able to gauge how big this industry is and how valuable this industry is, not just withstanding the amount of tax that the government takes from cigars, but in terms of volume, how many smokers and how many people it's affecting and what kind of product it is. How is anyone meant to know? You go hire a big hire a big consultancy like McKinsey. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to put feet on ground. They're going to take feedback. They're going to take data. You need data, and so you can incentivize smokers to fill these things out. You can do more, much more than people are actually doing.
Gotcha. All right. Well, and Usman will be joining us back. Apparently, he's his Pakistani. The internet went nuts, and there you go. All right. I think it's interesting. I think that people need to be aware of it, because if it happens in London or in the United Kingdom, it'll come to the United States, and then it'll go to wherever, and then it'll go to wherever. So you'll have to be 100 to smoke cigars, which is crazy.
Yeah. So what they're doing is they're phasing this out so that like if you and I smoke cigars, until we die, we can buy cigars. But let's say someone who there are some key markers. Someone who's born today will not be able to buy cigars in 10 years' time. It's that kind of it's that kind of structure.
So what are they doing? They're saying like, so next year anybody that's 21 above can buy it, and the year after anybody that's 22 can buy it, and the year after it's 23, 24. So and at what age are they planning on stopping like the number?
I don't know the answer, because I don't know the answer. We can check that. You can Google it.
Yeah, I was just curious, because I think it's fascinating.
Or anyone who's watching can type in Let Us Know.
Can Google it, yeah. No, it's fascinating. It's interesting though. All right, very cool. All right. Usman, nice that you can join us again.
No, I have no idea.
Having internet problems today.
No, there was no internet problem. The MacBook just decided to reboot for some reason.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Made in China. That's what happens.
Yeah, Raza,
thank
you very much for this elaborate and still keeping it intact conversation.
Yes. Watered down.
My only. Okay, so the generational ban starts from 1/1/2009, and anyone born after that. Oh wow!
So 2009. That means anyone born before 2009 can buy cigars. Anyone born after 2009 can't buy cigars.
Basically,
that's fine. That means they're 14 years old. That's fine. Who cares? 16 years old.
Steven.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing is, the ones who were born on the 31st of December 2008 are eligible to buy. But the ones who were born on the 1st of January 2008...
Well, that always happens with thresholds. That always happens.
Yeah. That's one. And the other part is that, okay, they are right now, as we speak, let's say around 16 years old. Right? 2009 to 2025, it's 16 years old. Right? Okay, fine, you're trying to stop them today, but they are going to be 18, 21 someday. Right? So what you can do is, or you can ensure is, you want to put that kind of a limit, you put it on the age, as you put that ban in the United Kingdom for purchase of tobacco and all of that.
It's a populist move. It has no fucking meaning whatsoever. Anyone who's done the research can go and fuck off.
Well, here's the thing. We have that.
Reduce the F word a little.
Yeah, because
the F word, if you really want, and the F word is an emotive word. Now, in some contexts, it's considered a swear word. It's actually become part of the vernacular of society to show a level of emotion. It's not really a swear word anymore.
Yes, sir. Okay. Raza, for you, Omar is right. Thanks, Raza. Stay positive. There's a lot of work going on, but I agree to most of what you have said.
Oh, he disagrees with something Riza said? What did you disagree?
No, I'm very certain. I'm very certain that's what he won't say it, even if it does, because the next rant on that part. This is Omar from Advantage. This is Omar from Advantage.
But here's what's interesting. In the United States, we kind of have the same thing that every year the date moves, so you can't buy alcohol unless you're 21. I think cigarettes, cigars, all that's 21. So every year we have that. So if you have to if they think you're underage, you have to show your ID, and it's like, oh, you can buy your alcohol or your cigarettes, cigar, whatever it might be. So we already have that. I'm okay with that. I don't think kids should smoke. I think you need to have a fully developed brain before you start drinking and smoking. So I'm okay with someone that doesn't even be 21 to make a decision, because it's 16, 17. It's more, my friends are doing it, I want to do it. So I'm okay with that. I have no problem with that type of thing.
Anyone who's into Cuban cigars, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Anyone, cigars generally, but Cuban
I
cigars,
agree
right?
with you. 21
Yeah.
years, put the ban, put some certain conditions, and that should be fine.
I agree.
While Raja is trying to find something, or says
I found
when
it.
something is forbidden, it's more interesting. Human behavior since Adam and Eve.
Right.
If you're into Cuban cigars or cigars
Yeah.
generally, but specifically
Yeah.
Cuban, one of the symbols, one of the faces that you will see, whether you're buying an El Bleu or whether you're buying a cigar case or whether you go to Cuba, is this one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, what this guy did, he didn't sit around in the forest just smoking cigars. He fought for a cause.
Right.
And gentlemen and ladies out there, if you're into smoking cigars, don't just sit around smoking. Do something about it.
I agree. Yeah.
Because if you believe in the symbolism, vive la revolution, we need a little bit of a revolutionary attitude towards cigar smoking. I mean, cigarette smoking, whatever, right? But if this is a sort of like a heritage hobby. Smoking cigars is a heritage hobby. It's a heritage industry. In the UK, it's been around for about 235, 240 years. Usman, am I right about that?
Yeah, well, you had 230 private stock, which was
Well,
already
235 is coming out this year. So
Yeah,
Hunters and Francow has been around for 235 years.
Exactly.
And I understand, and historically, this was explained to me by Jimmy McGee, who used to be at Hunters and Francow.
Right.
This was at the beginning of the year, that really, and I did my own research, how did cigar lounges develop in the UK? And they were called cigar divans. The first one was in Covent Garden. In fact, Jimmy showed me, that's on one of my stories. These were initially coffee houses, right? Where the gentry class would come and have coffee. Coffee was the alternative to beer, because coffee was made using hot water, and so you would sterilize the water and you would drink it, and coffee houses became very fashionable, right? And then after that, some of them started becoming cigar divans or cigar lounges. Okay, so this is a very old, established industry. Now, there is one, let's call it drug, that's worse than smoking, is alcohol. But no one has any problem with alcohol whatsoever. No end of pubs, no end of bars. No one has a problem with alcohol, right? That's part of the culture. And I'm asserting that cigar smoking specifically is part of the British culture, of the gentry class, of the middle class. And now also, given the plethora of New World cigars, it's part of it's a working class, blue collar class culture as well. In the USA, cigar smoking is sort of like immortalized, not necessarily by capitalists, but by bikers and by sort of blue collar workers or people who love watching, American football. It's a very sort of like a manly, visceral kind of activity that transcends
And some of the women that
money.
smoke them look very manly and visceral. So yeah.
It's the image I never get out of my head is from the 80s, and one of the Avengers comics was Wolverine smoking a cigar. That's a very sort of like a blue collar kind of, if you know what I mean, right?
Right.
So in the UK, this is a very, very historic hobby or pursuit and industry. And I can't quite believe that the establishment is trying to put that down. And I think they've lost touch. They've lost touch because they don't have the statistics, they don't have the understanding, they don't have the knowledge. And it's a populist move because it serves to show, oh, we're so health conscious, we're so this.
But are
we're
they?
so
But are they trying to put it down, or they're just trying to protect the kids? I mean, like I agree that a 16, 17-year-old kid doesn't need to be smoking a cigarette or a cigar unless his dad gives it to him to try or something.
Yeah, but then what about alcohol? I just want to say, what about
same thing?
alcohol?
I think you need to be 21 to drink. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, but in France, you can be
alcohol
12 years old and have watered wine. I mean, why are we just making up random rules? What are these random
it's not
rules
random.
about?
I think, first of all, Scotch
They're-
you should give to children because that quiets them down and makes them feel better. But
I
everything
mean,
else,
you get me onto the COVID topic about a vaccination next, right? It's everyone makes up the fucking rules as they fucking go along, right? And they will cite any form of research they can to support their side.
You'll find people your position, your position is that whether you're 0 years old or 1,000,000 years old, if you want to buy alcohol or you want to smoke a cigar, 6-year-old kid walks into a bar, just goes, give me a vodka martini and a cigar.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm actually not questioning that. What I'm questioning is the way that people make the rules up, right?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
In a certain way, I've never seen a 12-year-old smoking a cigar. This just never happened, right? But in a different context, if you go to France and you're at a dinner party, you'll see youngsters who watch, watered down wine or champagne. You'll see it. It's just a cultural difference, right? Until about 20 years ago, Usman will know this because he's worked in this industry, perhaps. Gripe water that was given to children, right, to calm their tummy down, right, had a certain amount of alcohol percentage to it. And that would have a calming, soothing effect on the child. Now, if you say to an 18-year-old,
no, it didn't.
Sorry,
his gripe water did. His gripe water had alcohol.
Sorry,
there was no alcohol in it.
In gripe water?
Yeah, there was no alcohol in gripe water. It is still available.
Yeah, but 20, 30 years ago it did. Even Coca-Cola used to have a small percentage of alcohol in it.
No, Coca-Cola had cocaine in it.
Cocaine, sorry, even better.
Cocaine back in the day until like the 30s or 40s. Coca-Cola had a little bit of cocaine in it. That's why it was brought more things to life. It's to their slogan, sure. So
my problem is the way that people make rules up without any consultation, without facts on ground, without real study. These are sort of populist agendas that have very little to do with reality.
Right. Okay.
That
so let me ask you. So what age, if I may, we'll take alcohol out of this because I think kids should drink scotch. It calms them down. What age? And they should drive as well because you can drive a tricycle and drink scotch. I think you're good. But what age should a young adult be allowed to buy a cigar then? In your opinion?
21. 21?
21. I agree with it. Yes, Rissa, you. Usman and I are at 20. Excuse me. We're both.
I would have said anywhere between 18 and 21. You can just pick a number. It doesn't bother me.
The reason I said
21. I suspect the major and my basis of this is I suspect you should be able to make major decisions. If you can vote, you should be able to make major decisions at that age. So whatever the voting age is, at that age you should be able to engage in the rest of society.
Okay.
I mean, I know it's I don't know if that's random or whatever. If you can vote, then why can't you buy a cigar? If the moment you're voting, you are participating in government, right?
Right.
Technically, I know. I mean, to be very honest with you, voting has no fucking meaning whatsoever either, right? But if you're voting, you're participating in the running of your country. You should be able to engage in the aspects of that country.
Right. I agree. So in that respect, then yes, you would be 18. You can smoke a cigar or drink or do whatever. And then Cigar Cave on Instagram says, what's more dangerous, driving or smoking a cigar? Well, if it's an Asian driving, you're screwed because they can't see and they just crash into everything. If smoking a cigar is less dangerous than driving. It just depends.
I apologize. I've gone very serious. I would be making wisecracks, but Usman calmed me down at the beginning.
You can still make wisecracks. I just did. I made a whole thing about a whole continent, and I'm good. So, and that's one of our biggest audiences. So I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. You guys suck as driving. Anyway, but no, I think cigars smoking, listen, if you do anything responsible, whether it's drinking, driving, not drinking and driving at the same time, unless you're a 5-year-old on a tricycle, or smoking cigars, I think you're okay. If you do it responsibly, I think you're fine. To Riz's point, should the government control it? The government controls everything. But to say someone has to be 18 or 21 to buy a cigar, cigarettes, or tobacco products, I don't care. I really don't.
I mean, I really don't care. But if you're gonna put a threshold, at the moment that a youngster, and we're still talking about teenagers at 18, right? Okay. Yeah. The moment a youngster engages with the rest of society, then you should allow them to explore that society freely because they're engaged with it.
All right. Well, my point is over here. If you go into like the armed forces at 16 or 17, you can drink and smoke then, because you put your life on the line. They're like, oh, here, we'll give you this little extra, right? So I kind of get what you're saying. Like you get to. You get
another set of made up rules. It's just another set of made up rules.
I totally get it. My point is, unfortunately, society as a whole needs rules. If not, the people would just be doing crazy stuff all the time.
Well, no, the frustration here is not the rules, Stephen. It's the inconsistency of rules, right? Okay, so you can do this, you can't do this, but you can do it if you're this. You could do it yesterday, but you can't do it today, but you might be able to do it tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Right.
That inconsistency is now fairly obvious because rules change so quickly. We had this conversation, Stephen, maybe on a different show of yours a few months ago, right? What most people want is stability in their lives. They don't mind that prices go up. They don't mind the rules change, but only by small increments from time to time, because then you can manage it. You could change your lifestyle to adapt to it, right? And what the government has done here is a bit of a sneaky move when it comes to cigars, right? What they're saying is, oh, we're going to phase it out 1 year at a time. So you won't really notice the difference, right? Now, that's why it's created, in my opinion, an apathetic attitude amongst the cigar smoking community, right? If you believe there's a real emergency on, do something about it. And the way it's been done, it's been done to say, well, it's not the biggest deal in the world. I'll be able to smoke for the next 5 years. I'll be dead after that. That kind of thing, right? So why should I engage with it?
But it sounds like the rule, though, that they're trying to put into place is they just want you, whether it's you're going to be 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever the number is, that you're not allowed to buy a tobacco product until you hit this certain age. It's not bringing, you don't have to be 106. They're not upping the rule. They're not upping your age every year. Like if it's 21, 22, 23, they're just upping the year you were born. So they're saying apparently at 16 years old, you're allowed to buy tobacco. Okay. So what's the big deal at 16? You don't need to be smoking cigars at 15. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but when you go to Tom Tom's or Number 6 and all these places, how many 16, 17, and 18-year-old kids do you see smoking cigars?
None.
Right. I rest my case.
See,
so I don't see where everyone's having a heart attack over this. I'm missing something.
Even it says you can't buy or smoke cigars or tobacco if you were born on the 1st of January 2009 or after. So it does not say that can you do that when you are 25, 30, 40, 45? No.
Sure.
It says regardless of whatever your age at that point is, if you were born on 1st of January 2009 and onwards, you can't smoke. Right. So that's I think the bigger problem. Had they said
they have to move the age every year. They have to move the number. They'd have to move the number every year. So if the law says it's 2009 forever, then yes, I see that that's the issue. But if they go every year, we move the goalpost because it's the minimum age. I'm making is 16. Then no, that wouldn't be an issue. But if it's 2009 for the next 100 years, to Riz's point, yes, that becomes the issue. So it's just the way the law is either written or being stated. The politicians have their head up their asses and they're not saying it right, or it's written wrong. That's all.
Yeah, fair point.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So if they're moving the goalpost every year, which is what they do here in the States, they're like you have to be 21. So every year, it changes from 2009, then it becomes 2010, then it's 2011 because the goalpost moves. But if they're just saying the cutoff is 2009 for now into perpetuity, no, then I agree with Rizza. That's ridiculous. Like that's crazy. But if it's going to be every year we move it,
just as an observation, my mild frustration is that retailers, cigar merchants, are really the people who are going to be most affected by this.
In what respect?
Because what I mean to say is, we'll still be able to buy cigars, right? Yeah.
Right.
If I hit 100 years old, which I won't, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll still be able to buy cigars. I can smoke them here. I can smoke them there. I can smoke them
Right.
anywhere.
Anywhere.
If I can't smoke them here, I'll go and I'll sort of have a retirement home somewhere where I can go and smoke. You know what I mean?
You can smoke
find
them on a train. You can smoke them on a plane. You can smoke them in. Oh, I'm sorry, doing greetings at here.
Dr. Seuss.
So,
Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss. Yep.
Dr. Seuss. Very good. Very good. That was very good. What I'm trying to say is that it's the merchants who are going to be affected, and I'm a little bit. The observation is they're the ones who generally seem not to be doing anything dramatic about it.
Okay.
Excuse me. That's why I said, just on their own, if merchants, I don't know, I don't know why there is a little bit of a discord within this community. Is
right.
They need to incentivize people to fill out forms. They need to They need to collect some data, some statistics. Right. Who's smoking this, who's smoking that. That's how they're being. Something like this. I don't quite see. If it's happening, then I stand corrected, but I don't see it.
I think Omar has said it very rightly, because what he says is that the generational ban would only create a black market. And I agree with that part, because once you stop, and as Osh said as well, once you kind of forbid anything, it becomes more a kind of an attraction and
Which means bigger than the black market that exists already.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
No, it's not. I don't think he's wrong. I don't think he's wrong. But it just becomes a more underground activity, simply speaking.
Yeah. And the cool thing is the kid that's already selling all the crap at schools, this is just another thing he adds to his arsenal.
But here it is. We're talking about specialized. I'm sticking to the UK, by the way, because this is a UK issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most cigar sampling rooms, cigar merchants with cigar sampling rooms, have very well enclosed off areas that are not available to the general public.
Right.
Exactly.
The general public does not see people smoking. They may get a whiff of cigar smoke. Heaven forbid that you get a whiff of cigar smoke over London traffic here, right? And most people, like recently, Usman's seen this, even Dodd joined me. I like smoking in Hampstead. Hampstead is a ridiculously beautiful area of London to smoke in, right? And when I have been sitting in sort of a beautiful side street on Hampstead, having a smoke with some friend, well, I don't have many friends.
I was going to say, the one or two people you've had,
90% of passers-by smile. They say, "Oh, I caught that whiff of beautiful cigar smoke." Some doggies will come and say hello, and da. It's a beautiful, beautiful activity. And if Dodd is listening, Dodd will attest to that it's a beautiful activity. So notwithstanding that, people tend not to forget, not mind. People love it, right? There's it's a very old world aroma. It's a nicer perfume when it's not an enclosed area. It's not like cigarette smoking. There's an aroma to it. It's like an expensive wax candle, actually. That aroma triggers people to, that reminds me of my father, reminds me of my grandfather, reminds me of beautiful days in Cuba. That kind of thing, right? It's a beautiful product, right? But generally speaking, most merchants have an enclosed area or an underground area or a back area within the shop that the general public doesn't see. I'm trying to work, and these are specialized merchants, right? Okay, and these specialized merchants follow a code. Some of them a little bit questionable, but most of them follow a code, right? Okay. Osman got nervous there.
You move past that part.
I won't mention the fucking idiots who I think.
Okay. Thank you for saying idiots. Anyway, he's just. Yeah,
I love
idiots is a bad word.
I love you, Usman. What I enjoy is the tension on Usman's face. He's like, fucking go. Press the button. Press the button. Press the button. Get him off. Right.
No, we're good. So here's so with all that being said,
is Usman saying this? If Usman is going on Instagram Live, does Usman need me to hold down my tongue a little bit?
No, he wants you to swear more. It's better.
I want you to hold your tongue always. It's nothing about.
So here's what from what I'm hearing so far about this law in London. It's much to do about nothing.
In the UK.
In the UK, I'm sorry. It's much to do about nothing. If they move the goalpost every year, It's literally the same crap everybody has all over the world.
Yeah.
It's not. It's so you have to be 18 or 21 to smoke a cigar. It's not a big deal. As Usman and I just said, you don't see a lot of 16, 17, 18-year-old kids hanging out smoking cigars. It's no big deal. Here in the States, as you saw from the Instagram when we did the thing with EAZY Ash, I was outside. It's near, there's a couple restaurants, and all the guys and girls that walk by, to your point, they smile and they nod, and the guys will say when they pass, I wish I could smoke a cigar. And they're always like, no, you can't. So it's just they all enjoy it. It reminds them of their grandfather.
Here's the problem. We're facing generational and cultural issues here, right? Yeah.
Right.
I come from a generation where I can say that my father specifically started smoking cigarettes when he was 8 years old.
Okay.
Right.
Well, that's a different generation,
now,
though.
It's a different generation. It's a different planet. It's a different species. It's so far fucking removed that if you speak this way, if I speak to my kids about that, they have a weird look on their face. Right. Okay. That's called there's cultural and generational gap. We've traveled through time. We're in a different universe. London is not London of 20 years ago, and it's not London of 50 years ago. The planet is not the same. Okay.
Right.
But as an example, Dubai was a fishing village 25 years ago, and now Dubai is one of the leading cities in the world. For example,
Right.
I'll give you just 4 examples. Right. Okay. These cultural shifts happen. Right. What I don't understand, and this is why I was talking about cigars specifically as a sort of very historic hobby industry. This has been around for more than 230, 240 years, right? Why all of a sudden someone's got a problem with it? It's random. Yeah, it's not a problem that it's not a generational problem. It's a multi-generational pursuit. Why suddenly is there a problem with it?
It's a woke thing. That's all it is. It's just a
There
woke
you go.
thing.
And that's
a woke. Everyone's like, oh, we have to do that. So less government would be better. I get that. And the other problem is I think governments are doing stuff now is because parents aren't parents anymore. They don't parent. They don't, parents they don't have the brain cells anymore. It's like their parenting is an iPad or the phone. They don't parent. When we were growing up, the parents would smack your bum or get your mouth washed out with soap if you used a bad word. So I went through lots of soap. But I'm just saying, you had parents and grandparents have parented. Parents today are useless.
Here's a question for you, Stephen, to answer the question. You said, Reza, what age do you think people should smoke? Not kids, young adults should start smoking, right? Okay, so let's pretend for 2 seconds you're a cigar merchant. Stephen is a cigar merchant. He's been running a shop for 20 years, and he has a young son who's just
wait. There's a problem. He'll be high on his own supply.
Yeah, I was going to say there'll be no supply for the people.
He has a young son who's 13, 14 years old who helps around the shop.
Sure.
Okay, during his summer break, right? He just tidies and cleans up, and his son says to him, Dad, do you mind if I just try a cigar for a moment, or can I just have a smoke? What is Stephen meant to say to him? Stephen can say one of two things. Stephen could say, no, you're not at that age. Or Stephen could say, well, look, I'm in the industry. You're going to take over the cigar shop. I'd be proud, man, if you want to try us and see what it tastes like. Correct? What is right and what is wrong? You tell me what is right and what is wrong. What is right and what is wrong is the ability to use your brain to regulate what you think is right and wrong. You don't need someone to tell you what is right and wrong.
But it goes back to my previous statement that parents do not parent today.
Well, there you go.
That's the problem.
And all those things are being taken away from you and being guided by someone who just makes the fucking rules up as they go along.
Right.
That's where my anger lies. That's where my agitation lies.
Yeah.
And that's why I convey it as anger and agitation, because if people don't convey these things as agitation, it's an easy win for the other side, if you know what I mean. Right? It's an easy win. It's like no one says anything. Prices always go up. If no one says it, we have no consumer advocacy as it is in the UK, right? Not like we had, not like Stephen has in the USA. Remember in the 80s and 90s, Ralph Nader, the consumer advocacy issues, right? Okay, we don't have it, but we have what's called social media, right? Okay, which is a very powerful, effective tool used correctly, right? Those are the things in which and platforms such as this, if you don't speak up, how are people meant to know how agitated you are about them?
But the problem is that, and we won't mention who you spoke to before the show, when we said, hey, why don't you come on the show and talk about it? They're like, oh, no, I don't want to rock the boat. So
I can understand that. I understand it, but it's frustrating.
Right, but that's
Right.
my point. So when you talk about cigar lounges and cigar purveyors and these people not doing stuff, they don't want to be the one that rocks the boat, because their concern is then they'll be the black sheep, or the British government will come after them specifically, or that those are the issues, right? And if they don't band together, that's a problem.
Who knows what's in an individual's head? I'm
only the shadow.
This is what I'm saying, that as a village, as a bunch of villagers, we're useless.
Right.
Or
Right.
we've demonstrated ourselves to be useless.
Cool. Okay.
Right?
I would like to remind both of you that we are in a live show. There are some comments I would like to read, if you allow me.
Please.
Because that will aid your conversation rather than just a rant up from one side. So Urs says, lounges are also a wonderful facility for preventing older people from becoming lonely. Loneliness among older people is a topic that many people talk about. In every lounge, everyone is welcome. And Cigar Cave says, before 86, I thought the cigar is only for the wealthy people. Till I traveled to the US, then I found it is a product for everyone.
There you go.
Yeah, so basically, live and let live is the only thing that should be followed. And yes, I agree, and I am very much in favor of the fact that there should be a certain legal age defined for this kind of stuff. But post that, it should be just like young adults to be allowed to do whatever they want to do.
Right. I agree. There you go. But don't drink and drive, kids. Pull over to the side of the road. That's what we tell everybody. So, yeah, it's a bad thing. Listen, I think this is going to be a controversy. It sounds like the law isn't written properly, especially if it's just like it's 2009 and that's it forever. That's a problem. 100 years from now, people will be like, I can't smoke. So if they just adjust it, where we adjust it a year up all the time, then I think most of what you're saying goes away. But if they don't adjust it, then yes, that is a problem, because in 25 years, to your point, there are only 4 people that are going to be smoking cigars.
Yeah.
So I think it's just written wrong or presented wrong. And I think the industry in the United Kingdom needs to get a pair of cojones and go there and go, hey, we're okay with what you're saying. You just wrote it wrong. Why don't you write it this way? And no one's going to have a problem with it. And then everyone's happy except Rizza. And then that's fine.
Well, Rizza's not going to be happy ever, so it's fine.
Okay. Then we're good. So there you have
it. See, to allude to one of the feedbacks that Usman had from Umar.
Oh my God. Okay.
There we go.
It's reasonably, I think he's right. It's reasonably, it's reasonable to say that if this law comes into place, then cigar smoking will become a black market activity or underground activity, right?
Right.
The problem is it never really ends. And these issues, these sort of made up laws never end. I can imagine a time, just like drugs, where they'll just ban the purchase of cigars, right? Okay. Sort of, you don't know where that gradient is going, right? And what I'm still finding, it's semi-amusing, but mainly frustrating, is that cigars is a multi-generational, very, very old pursuit. It's an artisan product in the true form. Like, people just put the word artisan on everything these days, from baked bread to everything else. I'm sorry.
Our dear friend in your love has said something. The cigar analyst says, I am all for it. And then he says, laughing my ass off. So he's trying to provoke you.
He's talking about it's a very serious show today. And I said, it's a show. And he goes, I'm all for it. He likes the fact that it's a serious show today. But he's still laughing his ass off because we talked about Asians that can't drive. So that's why.
And Umar says, we get 18 to 22 years old. I'm sorry, we get 18 years old also who come for the first time to smoke with their dads on their birthday. Fine.
I mean, as it should be. That's how it should be. That's how we all smoked.
Yeah, as it should be.
Yeah. I didn't have my first cigar though till I was 21.
And as feedback, if you're 18 years old, the first thing you should smoke is Siglo 6.
Oh, thank God it wasn't a Camacho that you were going to
Yeah, that
recommend.
crappy
It was-
stuff.
Listen,
you're
mate,
talking
stop
about.
hating on Davidoff products. Davidoff products
No, he
are
wants him to
fucking
smoke a Rocky
outstanding.
Patel.
I've
I
Look at him
am,
smoking Rocky
I
Patel.
am specifically mentioning Camacho. I don't give a shit whose product it is. Like the way you can say F word to anything and everything in cigars, I don't give a crap to whatever you say or whosoever you back. I do not like this shit
I thought
pieces.
you were on my side. I thought you
I,
were on my
I
side.
am, I'm your
But now
side. But Camacho,
there's
I
a
am your
degree of
side, but Camacho is a piece of
there's a
shit.
degree of insubordination here.
What are you in the military? What are we in the military? All of a sudden, what do we get
There's a ranking
drafted?
system. That's
Well,
why
I
I'm
didn't
going off
realize
on one.
that.
Yeah, when
I
it
didn't know.
comes to
Yeah.
when it comes to the cigars, that the ranking system starts from my side, Raza, not from
Look
yours.
at him! Look what Stephen did. Stephen even put him on above me on the fucking thing.
Yeah, even though that's
It's okay. I'm master of the underworld.
Oh, you're the master. You're the master of something.
Back down.
You're a
Put
master of
flames
something, my
next to
friend.
me.
No, I can't do that.
Look! It's my unwritten role to be devil's advocate on this show, because without pursuing a very, very crass, hard line, where is their conversation?
How can you say it's your unwritten role that you have to be devil's advocate? You are
Sorry,
the devil.
Stephen wrote it down in the contract.
You're the devil
He-
yourself. How are you
He
going to
signed
be
it with blood.
Yeah,
He signed it in
the
blood.
devil.
Just so we're clear, Usman, my middle initial is L, stands for Lucifer. So when he did get the contract, it did make him sign it in
Lucifer,
blood.
which in Latin means bearer of light.
Yes, I bear something,
Bearer
and
of light.
sometimes late at night with the neighbors. So, anyway, I think it's very cool. I hopefully the fans got something out of it. So now later today, if we go to the cigar stuff. I may or may not use my EAZY ashtray, but I will be at where I usually am smoking, and I will be smoking. It's a Davidoff day, and I think I'll be doing all the Davidoffs that I put on my Instagram.
Davidoff cigars are amazing. As I said, I love it. But I'm specifically talking about Davidoff cigars. I'm not talking
Camacho.
Not talking about the crap they make with the name of Camacho.
Right.
What it does, it benefits from the quite scientific and precise Davidoff cigar making techniques. It benefits from their 7 million blends, or the permutation of 7 million, which when I met Roy last time, he was keen to impress upon me. It is 7 million.
Okay, thanks, Roy. We appreciate that.
I'm not trying to give them a shout out or give them any publicity. They just happen to. They kind of have earned it.
Well, we have to, because the
exactly
boxes they sent us all showed up today.
And I believe the Camacho as a product is an outstanding product.
Yeah, Camacho.
Apart from the Camacho Nicaragua, fucking blew my.
Stephen, Camacho is an absolute product in the eyes of someone who I've just qualified as a devil, but it's fine.
Yeah, so there you go. So, yeah, if you want to take your advice from him, there you go. Now, let me ask you this, Rizzo. What's your position? What is your position on Rocky Patel again? I forgot.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on. I know.
Yeah, but this is a bit of a spent topic. I think outstanding.
Stephen, his point of view about Rocky Patel is he's an outstanding man, and that is what I would say as well. His only concerns are about the cigars and the pink jacket he was wearing. The rest is all okay.
It wasn't saying it was fuchsia.
Oh my god! So red trousers are a no, but fuchsia jackets are fine.
I never said they were fine. I never said either were fine. It's an observation.
That's double standard.
It's an observation.
My God.
It's an observation. Fuchsia is not pink. It's not red. It's some sort of like grade in the middle.
It's fuchsia. It's a fuchsia, actually. That's what there you go.
Well, it comes from the flower, but normally these terms evolved during the Impressionist era, when paints were given different names, like, crimson, violet, scarlet.
Oh my God.
Fuchsia. These are sort of like oil paint names, very specifically. So fuchsia was one of them. And now it's in the Pantone series.
Cigar Cave said he says, can I recommend Baijiu by my father's cigar? I know my father's cigar. I've had a few of their cigars. I've never been a fan, but I will try it. Maybe not today, but tomorrow, because today's definitely, I'm in the mood for Davidoffs, but I will try on my father's and let you know. I've had a few of their sticks. I've
had that cigar.
Yeah. Did you like it? That's okay. Enough said. So it's not a Camacho. Is that what you're trying to say?
First of all, the point
Here.
on le bijou, which means the jewel,
Yeah.
the point is so fucking sharp you'll kill someone with it. Do you have any
Oh, I'm gonna
idea
buy
how
one.
sharp the point is?
You can
Secondly-
actually kill someone with that shit Camacho as well.
And you know what? The
The amount of spices in that crap, any
Oh
and
my
every
God.
form of spices that they put in it, looks like
just why I don't make Camacho cigars. Why don't you just type this? Why don't you just type this to Davidoff, or I know someone, type it to Roy? Yeah, he'll
We will.
welcome you with open arms when you arrive in London.
Oh, we know. That's why he doesn't come on the show, because we're going to talk about
I
Camacho.
thought you were the one who was going to invite him over the show, and that's when I would say, "There's the reason I'm not inviting him. You're going to invite him so that I can say all of that what I've been holding back."
My invite means fuck all.
There
What
you go.
what I'm finding weird is the lack of respect being shown to a premium product.
Oh
We
wow!
love Davidoff. We love Davidoff. We tell you we're smoking Davidoffs all day. We love it. I've got a whole humidor full of
I know,
Davidoff.
but that's like
You're talking about like Camacho, though. It's like, okay.
you're saying nice thing. You're saying that's like saying a nice thing about a person, but slagging their kids off. It amounts to the same thing, yeah.
That's
In
okay.
your
We're good with
case,
that.
Raza,
Yes,
we all like Davidoff. I'm
Davidoff, yes.
also I'm
I'm not,
also
I can't force you to like Camacho cigar. I'm not saying
No,
that,
no.
but I just there's a hint of disrespect. I think you've taken it a bit too far.
Steven,
The notch has
Steven,
been raised too high.
Steven,
As you know, what we do is we keep a certain sense of decorum on this show.
This will be in his face after a few weeks.
I know, right? Oh
I
my
know,
God.
yeah.
Listen,
There-
did Camacho
there are other
send you an
brands.
extra box this week? Is that the problem? All right, we love
Their
Camacho.
other
They're great.
their other brand, Placencia,
Yeah.
is also decent, and I can bear with that. Evo, I haven't smoked, so I can't say anything about it. Camacho, one piece of shit they make, they will continue to make. You'll continue to like, I'll continue to hate. That's it.
Camacho sounds like a slap. Camacho.
Yeah. And remember what your said last time he was on the show. He's got the
Yes.
original Camachos from like 20, 30 years ago, he says, which is a phenomenal smoke.
Even the ones
So-
made by Davidoff are quite phenomenal.
Well, you know, the check must have cleared. Anyway, as long as you like it.
Wire transfer.
Wire transfer, good. The wire transfer came in, good. And I got the all boxes of their the year ofs that came today. So that's Davidoff. Ooh, love you. So there you go. But no, we're just kidding. Davidoff doesn't sponsor us. They just told our families till after the show. So next week, do we have any special guests or anybody coming, or is it just going to be us?
I'll be on. It'll be me.
Well, yeah, that's special, and you ride a bus.
Folks, we have in 3 weeks' time Aaron Sigmund joining us on the 6th of September.
I can't wait.
When that'll be a time when our show would start an hour late, which is 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. London time, and 6 o'clock Pakistan Standard Time. I'm very certain it will be a very interesting show because I'm sure we're gonna hear a lot of things from Aaron about his new book. But given the fact that Raza is here,
There's a surprise.
we're gonna have a lot of banter and a lot of.
Given the level of insubordination and direction I've been given today, I'll probably just sit there quietly and go like this.
I doubt it. I don't think you know how to do that.
Reza, you and sitting like this are two opposite sides of one thing.
Well, you told me to fucking shut up before I came on the show. You gave me the directive, Reza. You went like, Reza, calm down.
I did not. I did not say shut up. I said just.
Well, in my head, that's what I heard, because when you also go on your rants and raves, and you said, Reza, it would not be appropriate for you to use such colorful, flowery language,
which you have anyway.
On a show.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing. It will help.
Just so you know, Reza, before the show, I, being Lucifer, was egging you
Yes, sir.
on to be you. So it was.
Yeah, no, but
it
you
was
were
like
doing it in that way. You because you're my elder and better. Yeah. What you
here
were
we
doing
go.
is you were maneuvering me and saying, I don't need to say much. This idiot is going to say what he's going to say eventually. So I can
It
actually
literally,
hear your thought
yeah.
processes.
It's literally like in Animal House when John Belushi had the good angel on one shoulder and the bad angel on the other shoulder. That's what this is. I'm the bad one, and Uzman's always the good one to Rizza. Before the show, it's sort of like do this, and Uzman's like, don't do this. I'm like, no, do it. So that's what for you guys that want to know what happens before we go live. That is the conversations that we have before we go live. It's like I egg him on, and Uzman tries to calm him down. So then we try to go at some point.
Stephen, when
Yes, sir.
are you going to be in a situation that we can actually see you smoking as well? Because I'm kind of gonna give up on Raza as he doesn't smoke these days. So I need company.
The new yacht.
I'm
is
not really
ready.
a cigar smoker.
Okay, here we come.
I'm giving up now in anticipation of these beautiful laws that are coming in. So in sympathy to support all this fucking woke change. Stop it now. I'm getting used to it, as they say.
Okay. Anyway, if
building up my stamina.
Okay, the new yacht will be ready on the 26th of September.
Folks, I did one side.
Congratulations. So I think it's like a child with ADHD. So the new yacht, oh my God, the new yacht is ready on the 26th of September. So probably the first weekend show we do in October, I will be able to smoke on the new yacht since we're just leasing this yacht. So we'll be smoking on the new yacht. That'll be fun, and we're looking forward to that. That'll be an exciting day, and I'll be smoking, of course, Davidoffs. God forbid. I smoke nothing else, and that's it. So I'll be smoking the Davidoffs. But today, when I go to the cigar place, I will be smoking Davidoffs. We'll put those out on Instagram like I usually do, because I know people are fascinated with what I smoke. And I will try possibly the one by my father, but apparently it could be used as a weapon. So I don't know. I'll have to see if I have to get a license for it. Oh, okay. So there you go. That's
the Royal Highness.
I have an idea for you. Instead
His
of
Royal Highness Raza.
Yeah.
What are you planning on smoking today, if by any chance you are?
I'm
here it comes.
Smoking a plethora of cigars. Plethora means a multitude, or
yes, we know what it means.
Well, it doesn't mean it exactly, because every word in English has a slightly different meaning to every other word, so it's not an exact synonym.
Yeah, well, that's true, because earlier, a little while ago, I was watching something, and they said English is a very funny language because you have underwhelmed and you have overwhelmed, but you don't have whelmed. So yeah, I mean, I understand what you're going to say. So go on.
There you go. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Whelmed.
And yes, so the answer is yes. I'll be smoking.
Right. Well, what will you be smoking?
Cuban, probably, because everything else apart from Davidoff is a bit shit.
Okay, including Camacho.
Why aren't you smoking on the show these days? What's
the problem? Yeah, what's wrong with you?
I was smoking last week, but as I've said to you many times, and you guys both egg me on, Saturday, just so that we can straddle through time.
Take the time. Don't give this excuse anymore. I don't give a shit about this. If you have a problem, tell us what the time should be, and we will change the time. But do not.
How about Saturday mornings, 10 o'clock in the morning? That doesn't suit Stephen, does it?
I'm okay. Oh, okay.
What time is 10 o'clock in the morning? My time, 5 a.m.
I'm happy to light up at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's neither hither nor thither, as they say. And whilst it's okay from time to time at a cigar this time, I already know I have substantial cigar smoking day ahead of me. And 3 days ago, I cigared out. I was like, so far, get out, no cigar. But I had to kind of recover for the next day, and then the day after that was fine again.
And we have somebody that's asking us, what's your favorite Davidoff? Gentlemen,
my next one.
Oh no. Okay, so in my
next one.
In my case, if I have to, the Davidoff Grand Cru series is.
It's not Grand Cru, it's Grand Cru.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Grand Cru. I smoked that last week.
Whatever up to that he's saying, yes. Grand Cru Toro or Grand Cru 3 or something, which I really like, and there's some good Davidoff cigars. Omar, thank you very much for liking the show. You two have a great day. Anyone
And
else? Cigar
And
Cave
just to
is
be a little
live.
quick, I do like the late afternoon, the Winston Churchill late afternoon and
Fucking
early
hell.
morning. That's a good one as well. So I enjoy that one. I'm hoping they just rebrand it for me so I can call it whatever I want. But that's a good one. But
Yeah.
I had the Grand Cru last week. It was beauty. This week I'm going to try the Millennium and a few others. So I'm looking forward to that. Anything Davidoff is wonderful. So
I have a
Davidoff.
recommendation. I think
What
everyone
was
should
that?
smoke the.
The Cigar Cave says we need to see this some smoke going out from your mouth. It's a great show, guys. So I guess we have the feedback from the fans as well.
What you've
There you
got
go.
today is smoke coming out of my ears. That's how pissed
Well,
off I am.
at least he's smoking somewhere. So, okay. What's your recommendation before we say goodbye to the fans who have to start their day and go on with their lives?
I would recommend that everyone should smoke a Davidoff Oro Blanco.
I don't have spare change of
$750.
$700, so sorry. Thank you very much.
Oro Blanco.
Well, you know what? Since Roy's a fan of the show, Roy, 3 of them, we'll smoke them on the show and we'll tell everybody why they're worth $750. You know, Roy's got like a stash. You can feel free to send them out to us. There you go. I'm going to make that one a short and send that right to Davidoff as well. So there you have it. So guys, it's always good to see both of you. To the fans, thank you for joining. And for you people that are watching live, if you want your friends to watch, you can go back into our channel, watch the live show. It'll be posted on all our Instagrams later, the whole show. You can go back and watch that. I will post what I'm smoking today. Riza will probably forget that he was even on the show in about 2 hours. Usman's going to spend time with his family. And we will be back next Saturday, same time, same bat channel, and go through everything. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And once again, thank you to the guys at EAZY Ash. Can I tell you, these 2 guys, gentlemen, they were just the funniest guys. They were in town. They had like 6 of them for their 60th birthdays, and none of them looked over 60. And Anthony, that was there, looked like he was 14. And Lawrence, who did the commercial with me, he looked maybe 50. But the nicest guys in the world. So yeah, I want to give a shout out to them. They were very nice, and it's just a fluke thing. I just happened to be sitting there minding my own business, and that's what's great about a cigar lounge. You never know who's going to sit down and what they're going to talk to you about. So there you go.
Great.
There you have it.
Thank you very much. Before we sign out, Raza,
Yes,
don't
sir.
go away. Don't go away.
Oh, yeah.
Steven, you can say the last word.
Okay. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe and like. The podcast comes out tomorrow. Get us wherever you're going. We're going to end the show with credits. Riza, Grandpa, stay seated, and we'll be okay. And everybody else, have a great rest of your weekend. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.